Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dave here with Go Gamer. So today we got a Nintendo Switch on the repair bench that's only charging one way with the Type-C charger. So let's go over to the upper cam and see exactly what's going on with this Nintendo Switch. All right, guys, so as you can see, we have a Nintendo Switch. I actually just replaced the charging port on this one because the charging port was obviously broken. Now with this Nintendo Switch, what it's actually doing is now, after I repaired the charging port, I can, if I put it in one way, if I put the Type-C charger in one way, it will charge. The other way, it won't charge. Now, I went back in, I double verified all the pins. All the pins are correctly soldered on. Now, typically that signifies that there's usually something going on else on the motherboard, some type of short or whatever the case may be. This is why I've always stated multiple times in my previous videos, even when you repair the charging port, you always want to make sure you test all the other chips. Because what happens is sometimes when those charging ports break, when those pins connect, it grounds out and it'll short out, and that can actually damage a chip on the motherboard if it possibly shorts out, and you don't want that issue. So let's go over to the microscope and see what we can be able to see under that. All right, so here is our M92 chip. Now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly put our black probe on ground, and we're going to test, and I'm going to switch up the lighting a little bit, and I'm going to test both sides of this chip. Okay, and I'm not receiving a short. Let me test this. No short, meaning signifying that this chip is more than likely good. And there's no short coming for these, so everything on this chip seemed to be fine. Now I'm going to test this one right here. Typically a short from this component would usually signify a short on a P13 chip, which is on the opposite side of the motherboard, right? Just to show you guys, look, all these pins are very, very, very solid, right? I make sure I do very, very thorough work when I replace these charging ports. Now let's test the BQ chip, because the BQ chip could also be gone out. Okay, so we're not detecting any short coming from the BQ chip. Let me come over here. All right, so we obviously tested the M92, we tested the BQ, P13 is good. So I'll say this, most of the time when it comes to this issue, usually I would see it having an issue with the actual BQ chip. So I'm just going to take a gamble and replace this chip, because I'm assuming it would definitely be this chip. If this doesn't fix this issue, then we'll just start replacing chip after chip. Obviously, we're not detecting any noticeable shorts, but let's go ahead and get this lifted off this board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this Kapton tape. You guys want to know what flux, what Kapton tape I use, all of it is down below in the description. So especially right here, because we have these plastic connectors over here, so we want to make sure all this over here is protected. All right, so we got the Kapton tape placed on there. We got the 8341 no clean flux placed on there. I'm gonna run my airflow at 35%, run the temp up to 400 degrees Celsius. And we're gonna quickly go in, heat up this chip, remove it, and then put the new chip down. All right, so that easy. So we got the old chip removed. I'm just going to go in, place a little bit of flux, and realign some of these components that got shifted. All right, guys, so we have the BQ chip put on there, and let's see if that works. Obviously, I detected no obvious faults, and I'm just going to clean up the whole board just go through. I did my toothbrush in some 99% IPA. Get this board nice and clean. Then I'm gonna go in and just completely dry off this board. All right, so the board is now sparkly clean. That's how I like to do it. I want to make sure when these customers get this board back, it's going to work 100%. So I'm gonna put this back in the chassis. I'm gonna hook in all the ribbons and see if we now have a charge on both sides of the Type-C cable. We got it partially put back together. Let's see if we can get it to charge both ways. Their screen is really scratched up and dirty. I'm actually going to clean that here too. Let's see if we get the charge symbol. Okay, so we do get the charge symbol that way. Let's flip it the other way and see if we get the charge symbol. We get the charge symbol on both sides. I'm checking my amperage meter. It is charging perfectly fine. I'm just going to flip it back over one more time just for safety reasons, just to make sure 100% that this thing is working. And we can see that this thing is working. So I'm going to continuously start putting this thing even closer back together. And I'm going to allow this thing to charge up a little bit more. And I'm going to come back as soon as this thing turns on to confirm that that BQ chip replacement did, in fact, repair this issue. All right, guys, so got it put back together. Got the bar off, and it did automatically turn on. Obviously, screen is working fine. Everything is good. Got this thing hooked into my computer. That's why it's not charging as good as it should be. But let's flip this thing to the other side and make sure it can charge the other way. Let's see. And the power button did come back on, with a charge symbol did come back on. So everything is good with this one. So it looks like we was able to successfully get this Nintendo Switch repaired by just successfully just swapping out that BQ chip. Like I said, I did replace the charging port. And then after that, I figured out that it would only charge one way, replace the BQ chip. It immediately resolved that issue. So everything is good now on this Nintendo Switch. If you guys did enjoy this video, just please make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below in the comments. You can also reach out to us at my forums at gogamers.com/forum. Also, if you need your repairs organized, you can reach out to us at gogamers.com/repair. But besides that, I hope to see you guys on the flip side, and I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya.